Today, I would like to talk about two main ideas that I find in today's gospel. The first idea comes from the beginning of today's gospel. I'm going to read a sentence. For where your treasure is, there also will your heart be. It's a little bit the continuation of last weekend's or last Sunday gospel, the same idea. But today I would like to think and to meditate on a very single theme that we can call detachment. Depending on how we see it, we can call it detachment or maybe attachment too. Today's gospel, I think, is an invitation to see in a very honest way to what we are attached. We human beings, and I was thinking about, actually I think that, because I have something that during my time as a seminarian, we become attached to many things during our life, small things. And that can be material things or not material things, but different things that we, little by little, we build up as things that are essential for us. But if we go with an honest look, they are not essential. They are just things that we like to collect and put there. You cannot imagine how my bedroom was 17 or 18, I don't remember exactly how many years, when I came here to United States. I didn't have much. Now I have a lot of things. And you go back, maybe that's same for you. That's the same for you. And there is, I was telling you that there is something that makes me think about my years of seminarian. In the seminary, and I didn't understand that, and maybe you have heard that from me before. When I was studying philosophy, every year, at the end of the year, remember, it was the same building, okay? We were in the same building. But every year, we had to take our belongings, put them in whatever, a box, whatever. I remember that I was putting them in a box, and we were obliged to go to another bedroom. We could not stay in the same bedroom for 3 or 4 years in the seminary. And now I can see how important and wonderful was that, because I remember how at the end of the year I was taking the time to review what I was collecting or what I collected during that year, and I was saying, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that, I'm not using that, I'm not using that, I'm not using that, and boop, it came to very few things that I was really using. I don't do that anymore, so I'm putting that here and that here, there and there. It's becoming more and more. So it seems to me that I need to do that every year, but I don't do it actually. I mean, I used to do that. So now let us transfer that in the spiritual, to the spiritual realm, to the spiritual kingdom. That happens to us too. We start putting things in our souls, in our hearts, that if you take the time to review them, maybe they are not very important, and maybe they do not do and add anything to your life. Maybe actually they make your life a little bit more complicated, and they make your life more difficult to move and to walk freely. I'm talking about spiritual, in a spiritual way. Today's gospel maybe is an invitation to review those attachments. That's what I was saying, depending on how you see it, can be attachment or detachment. Once you see those attachments, now we need to recognize that we need to be detached from all of that. To just go to the essential, God. He is the only one. He is the only one who we really need, and the only one who should be in the center of our life. I was saying that last weekend. So maybe today is a very important day to review that and to try to detach from all that is not necessary and essential in our life, and to be attached to what is really essential, God and His kingdom, Jesus Christ and His kingdom. And I want to finish this first theme by giving you a very simple way to do it. To review our calendars and see how in that calendar God is making a difference. I guess many of you have a calendar, I guess, no? I have one, okay. So maybe what in that calendar is the time that we give to God, that is for God. Evidently, you are here, so it's very important, and I'm very happy to know that you are here and see you here. That means that Sunday, 11 a.m. is a time for God in your life. But maybe it's not enough. Maybe you can go a little bit further and give a little bit more to Him. I do not know. So that's the first thing to review. And the second one, you budget. Today's gospel is talking about money. So to review our budget and see what in that budget is set apart for God. I said God, not Blessed Sacrament, okay? I want to make it clear. I don't want to hear anybody saying, that priest is talking and preaching about money. And no, I don't like that. But it's very important to review that in our lives. Your budget. What in your budget goes to God? Whatever it is. I do not have any idea how you want to put it. But something has to go to Him. Something has to go for Him. Now, if that means going to Blessed Sacrament and God, wonderful. But my point is that something has to go to God, because we may be attached to money and our entire self working only for that, which is important, and forget that that money is only a means to reach God and to serve God. Same thing with our lives, with our time. We may be very attached to that and forget that our time, we should think about God too. Okay, that was the first theme. And the second one, very quickly, today I don't want to go over and over. The second one is vigilance. The gospel is talking about vigilance too. And I want to, I guess many of you have been in wakes. And part of today's gospel can be used for a wake. And it's very interesting because it is like the Catholic Church is telling those who are in a wake, be vigilant. Do not forget that you are going to die one day, in the same way that this gentleman or this lady passed, and we are here recognizing in the life of that person. We have to think about our own death, and the church invites us to meditate on this gospel, not the entire gospel, part of this gospel. Because Jesus Christ is going to come to each one of us, and we have to ready to meet Him. Detachment is a way to be ready, but we have to remember that He is coming to judge us, but He is also coming in our everyday life. Let me summarize very quickly. There is, like in general, 3 comings of Jesus Christ in our life. The first one is the Nativity. We celebrate that every 25th of December, the Nativity in the past. The second one is in the future. He's coming as a judge for the entire humanity in the second coming. But there is another one that we can call it a spiritual coming of Jesus Christ. He comes every day to meet us, to see us, to encounter us. And me and we, you and me, sometimes, because we are so distracted by too many things in our lives, occupied and preoccupied, anxious, we miss the comings of Jesus Christ every day in very simple and sometimes hidden ways. And we don't recognize him coming. We do not allow him to come. And most important, we do not make ourselves aware of that coming. We are not ready. We are thinking about too many things. We are doing too many things. We are working many things. We rush and do not see God, Jesus Christ, coming in a very simple and spiritual way every day. He comes to meet us. So we have to relax, breathe, and recognize his coming. That's my second invitation and last one. So let us pray today that as we celebrate this Mass, we may be able to recognize the unhealthy attachment that we may have in our lives and be ready to sacrifice everything and to be detached from that and be attached only to God, the one who really matters, first. And second, let us pray also that we may be able to be vigilant and recognize the comings of Jesus Christ every day into our lives. Please stand.